Hey YouTubers, I wanted to talk about how to maintain those gains that you've had with your lifestyle change through the winter. Now down south it's probably not too hard, but in Chicago it's a challenge because the nights become longer, the days become colder, the abundance in the grocery store is less. So people like Dennis who got off his statin medicines, or Mike who got off his blood pressure medicines, or Pat, who made it 25 pounds off and is still going. I've got a whole bunch of successes here, but I have to support my patients. I'm very proud of them, but I got to support them through the coldness of winter. And I've tried to just treat winter as a bookend time period where you just float through and hopefully springboard into March, April, and May and something else that you can develop as a lifestyle change. So what I've tried to do is think of the next couple months as something on the calendar, but start planning. I have this acronym: plan, initiate, and grapple. Planning is just looking at the feasts that we're going to be exposing ourselves to over the next couple of months. The big one coming up is Halloween. I would not wait until Halloween night and the parties to start watching your appetite. I would start to plan that out a week before or a couple of days before. Go a little bit leaner than usual for the 3 days before the party, and that way you don't feel so guilty when you get to the party. If you can plan to exercise as usual, be real diligent with your exercise, be real diligent with your sleep cycle, be real diligent with your mindful practice, and go a little bit tight on your caloric restriction or your carbohydrates, then you don't feel so guilty. Then you can walk into the party with a couple pounds off to take advantage of the feast time. I'm not saying don't go to feasts or parties. I think that's part of the social gathering that makes those blue zones that Daniel Buettner found work properly. You have this overlying concept of being involved in your community. There's great things that you can experience when you're around like-minded individuals all together enjoying themselves. So take advantage of that. Don't shy away. But if you do plan, you can get to the feast with a little more leeway to enjoy. So that's when we talk about initiate. When you do get to the feast, you might want to do some of my tricks. Say, maximize on your protein the day of the party. And if you haven't, I'll put a link here to the protein video I did. But sometimes if you increase your protein, especially the day of, you'll have more satiety. So if you want to avoid the sweets table or some of that extra beef, you might be able to do that easier by doing the protein and the fiber during the day, filling up. I'm not saying get full before you go to the feast. I'm just saying take care and pace yourself during the day. Don't starve yourself. That way when you get to the party, you can nibble a little bit here and there or eat a good plate and not feel so guilty, and also not go into the second plate, third plate, fourth plate, second bottle, third bottle, fourth bottle. So that's when you initiate your strategies the day of. And then there comes a time after the party. The after party is always important because most of my people have to grapple with what they've gained or what they did at the party. It was either grapple or guilt, and I don't like the word guilt, so I think if we challenge ourselves with maybe a little extra exercise the day after, not indulge in our feast again the day after. Grappling would be when you pay for what you experienced at the party. If you had a little bit of overindulgence, that's all right. Get out to the gym. If you ate a couple of things that you didn't want to eat, maybe do a detox real quick, or go a little lean on your food the next day. Increase your fluids. Get some coffee. Well, whatever you do, try to work with the overabundance that you might have experienced from the feast and neutralize it. Grapple with it. So if you can get to that point, then fine, then you can start planning for the next feast. But you get by just by mindful. This is all just mindful activity and prepping. For my average Joe and Jane who's trying to get through and develop a healthy lifestyle change or maintain these things, I mean, I can argue the fact that a lot of my patients here are also fitting the criteria, but they're doing it for an ultimate reason of living without disease, getting off medicines, and trying to feel like they did when they were 20. So I can rationalize it all I want, but this is how I would participate with the next season of challenges.